Hello everyone, and welcome to a brand new installment of the SHIRO Show.
Yeah,
I am
hi,
Trenuku. That's like it's like a Roku device, except I'm talking. And this is
the Pat version.
Yep, Pat Roku. And this is Dan Thrax the Manthrax with his new awesome name tag.
Cool. Oh, it looks good. Doesn't say Manthrax anymore, but that's okay.
I mean, I thought it could be a little bit more business professional, I think.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm pretty sure that's
what we are around here on this show, is business professional.
Yeah, I'm fairly sure that name tag's the most professional name tag.
It is. Even more so than yours, with your classy signature and everything.
You got in-game text.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's clearly better.
Yep. So, yeah, hi everybody. Thanks for joining us here on the SHIRO Show, the internet's only live Sega Saturn YouTube show. And we're glad that you're watching us or listening to us on the podcast a little bit afterward. Thanks for joining us. How y'all doing? How are you doing, Pat?
I'm doing good. We should probably shout out the people in the chats.
Yeah, absolutely.
Bob, Dragons of Saturn, Tales of Saturn, a lot of stuff of Saturn, Captain Hawden, Analog Black Sheep, Neil Henderson, Pudgy Bunny, John Wong, Mike Garcia, Pierre Garu, Lee Toast with the most, let's see, Siswiv, Siswave, that's trying my best here, sorry, Slowcoin, Starlight Witch Gaming, Khan, Chronoly, Alex Ramirez, and Technocris. Welcome to the show, everybody. Thank you for stopping by and chatting with us and hanging out. Okay, Siswiv, I got it right. Cool, thank you. I am bad with pronouncing stuff.
Nice. No, you nailed it.
I did it. There we go. I'm happy. I'm doing something right.
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
Something right.
So what you been up to this week?
It's been kind of nuts. So something crazy happened last Saturday.
Okay.
So me and my girlfriend, I wanted to pick up this new box set called Emperor's Children. I actually have it in the other room. I put it together, but I forgot to get the box, so I'll show off next week.
Warhammer?
Yeah, ham warmers.
Okay.
As we call it.
Hand warmers.
So we got the box for ham warmers. And then we stopped at there's like this used dolly market where they sell a bunch of them like used, so you can like get some good deals. And I found this one army I wanted, and it was like a huge box set. It was like literally like the entire army times like 5, so it was pretty nuts. It was like this entire thing that would cost thousands of dollars, and he wanted it for like 500.
Wow. That 500 is pocket change when it comes to Warhammer armies.
Yeah, it was a whole army painted. It's for this part of the game called the Warhammer Fantasy Battles, it's like the old world and whatever. So it's called the army's called Empire of Man, and he won 500. But I was like, I don't think I have the cash for that right now. But my girlfriend chipped in, and my best friend chipped in, and I managed to pick it up.
Oh, nice.
Get it.
That was nice of them to help you.
Lot of models here, like a whole lot. Like this is like only like the beginning of it. Like I put it in the Discord. There are several boxes worth of it, but they're all nice and painted. They're like little square bases, little swords and stuff like that, little conquistadores. There's supposed to be like an Italian based sort of army, like the Roman Empire.
Oh, okay. Well,
there is cool, a lot of it. There were 5 boxes of that.
And now you're all set to play that army, huh?
Yeah. No, I'm also literally it had like, and it must have had like 50 knights like on the horses. I think I calculated. I have a list right here, so actually I've been sort of cataloging it, and I want to make note that this list is not the complete list. This is what I cataloged of it, which is 1, 2, 3, 4 boxes worth of it. 4 like whole ass boxes worth of it. I just need to get the page up because I have 5 million tabs here, but Essentially, it's over 500 models. I'm thinking it's close to like the 600.
Wow, it's crazy.
Yeah, ass boxes, oxes, if you will. But yeah, so far I have 5 engineers, 3 generals of the Empire, a master mage, 2 priests, wizard lord on a horse. I have about 44 archers. I have like let's see how many, like 400 and something state troops with the little pokey sticks. I got 60 Empire great swords. I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 great cannons. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 mortars. 5 pistoliers. 20 Viking guard dudes called 2-division guards. 60 flagellants. 3 Hellblaster volley guns and 3 Hellstone rockets. It's basically like these guys, like these, like the flails.
Okay. I was gonna say some flagellants more of an action than a noun.
Huh?
Well, I mean, I guess flagellants
Yeah,
could
they're
be
not.
a noun.
I mean,
too.
they probably could be doing flagellating.
Flatulence.
Yeah, flagellants. So
yeah,
they could be
Okay.
flatulent flagellants. That's Fart Daly's army.
that is Fart Daly's army. Yeah,
But
good
yeah,
point.
like this was a big deal. Unfortunately, I did not do Skaven. Skaven are kind of like really bad in a Warhammer fantasy right now. They're like really bad, and that kind of army is reserved for my friend. He wants to do them, so I kind of want to stay with him. I did the Empire of Man because I play Imperial Guard, and it's like the same sort of thing in fantasy. It's like, oh, let's do that. So I played my first battle, and the dude I played against didn't realize it was my first time playing the army, so he had like this very nasty like competitive list, and he kind of like rocked me. But I did roll pretty bad. Like 2 of my artilleries failed, and one of them like got knocked over and like out of action for 3 rounds. So that was kind of not fun.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, there's only 2 of us here. We're missing Dave, aka
Yes.
the third guy, because he is off doing dadly duties that dads must do.
Call of Dadley.
So, yes, we do expect him to join us a little later via voice chat, though. So.
Yeah, he should be joining us. So we miss you, Dave, for now. You'll be in here soon, hopefully, and we'll be chatting it up. But yeah, besides that, just put together my Emperor's Children. I'm gonna play a game tonight. We moved training over to yesterday, so I got that all sorted out. So I'm gonna go play some Warhammer and then work out afterwards. Try my new Emperor's Children. I'll show that off. Like maybe, I don't know, I could probably run. If you want to do your update, I'll go grab the box real quick, Dan.
Okay. Are you gonna do a game stream after too? By the way.
Yeah, I'm not sure what I want to play though. I might just do more Arcane Strike.
Okay. All right. Yeah. If you want to go get your thing, I'll spiel for a sec. So yeah, what's up with me? Well, of course, Pat decides to leave, so he doesn't have to hear about it because he doesn't care. But he won't know that I know that he doesn't care. I really, I don't know. I didn't have a whole lot going on this week. Yesterday was the first day of spring, though, which meant that this little place around here called Rita's Ice did their annual free giveaway. It's like flavored ice that they sell. They have like ice cream and stuff too. They are everywhere in the Philadelphia area. And somebody just opened one of them up here in the Northeast Ohio area. So they've been open for about a year. They're popular, and so it's good to see. They're a pretty cool little joint. So of course, Bunny and I had to go up and get our free ices yesterday and tried out the Skittles flavor. That was tasty. It was not a very warm day yesterday. It was pretty cold and kind of rainy. As opposed to the day before where it was like 72 degrees and beautiful and sunny outside, but that's Ohio for you. The weather changes in an instant. Oh, hi, Pat, you're back.
Hey, you should come to Arizona. You don't have to worry about that.
It's just hot all the time, hot and sunny.
Hot.
Nice.
Also, you get heat stroke a lot.
We got like these flavored ice desserts from a place near here yesterday because it was like the first day of spring and they always give stuff away for free.
It's like a snow cone or something like
that? Yeah, it's kind of like a snow cone. It's sort of that idea. So it's called Rita's. They're from Philadelphia.
Ooh, lovely Rita, meter maid.
But yeah, besides that, I haven't had any pickups.
Yeah, no, I know Rita. There used to be one by my house.
Oh, really? In New
Jersey, yeah. There's a couple of them. I do know of them. I just never been there because I don't like Italian ice. So.
Oh, okay. Yeah, they opened one near us, like in our town here. So, that's been pretty cool.
Nice.
Yeah, I guess I got a shipping label from Limited Running Games on the River City Girls 2 that I ordered from them in their last chance sale last week. So I guess maybe I'll get that next week.
Well, I mean, that's probably the shortest anyone's ever had to wait for a Limited Run Games product.
Oh, absolutely. It helps that they manufactured it, I don't know, a year or two ago. So it's just sitting around in a closet or something unsold. So that helps. Still waiting on the Shantae Advance game that I ordered last year that they keep pushing back by a few months.
I'm sure you'll get it. I'm sure you get it 2028.
Yeah, 2028 sounds like a safe bet.
I'd lock that in.
But yeah, other than that, it hasn't been anything really new with me this week. Been a pretty boring week, I suppose. No Dolly update for me because I don't. Well, I guess you mean my figures.
Yeah.
Figures. Yeah. No, I've looked. I was looking real long and hard at the Crunchyroll store because they had this cool Mao Mao figure from Apothecary Diaries, which is an anime that is airing its second season right now. It's really good. Probably one of my favorite ones of the last year or so, year and a half. And it was a really cool one where she's like in like this kind of a party kimono or something. I don't know. Let's think about it. I think it was kind of an affordable price too. It was like 40 some bucks, better than like 200 for.
With the limited figures. Edition that have like the cheap posters and the plushies that are, slightly very different.
What do you mean?
For the limited run Shantae thing?
Oh, I'm talking about figures on Crunchyroll.
Oh, figure. Yeah, sorry about that.
Yeah, figure from the anime called Apothecary Diaries.
Nice.
No,
Well, you didn't want the giant figures? That's $200. Sorry, I'll shift that.
No.
There we go.
I haven't gotten a collector's edition from Limited Run since the Shantae games were being printed on the Switch. I got all of those. They got a lot of my money from those. But yeah, no, I think I resisted the temptation with the Game Boy Advance one. I just got the regular cartridge. I'm like a little over giving money to Limited Run. I say that having just given money to Live and Run a week ago, but
I mean, I feel the same with GW, so I can see where you're going with that.
Yeah, I've at least like drastically reduced my spending relative to like several years ago when they just like had me over a barrel every time there's another Shantae collector's edition or trading cards or whatever. So I've gotten a little more financially responsible on that front.
I mean, to be fair though, it probably was just the waiting that did it in for you.
Partially. Also, the unidentifiable crumb that I found in a collector's edition the one time that also kind of turned me off.
A little bit, I can see that, but yeah, no, I feel you. I think figure wise, I really want to get that Dungeon Meshi one of what's her name as the Chimera. But it's like $250 for it. Oh, really? Wow. It's like a whole ass Chimera thing, but I don't know where I put it. Mm-hmm. But I like it a lot because it's a giant Chimera thingy. Yeah, it is a pretty crazy design they came up with her. I've looked at some of the figures for the elf girl in that show whose name escapes me. Marcille's name. Yeah, there have been some cute ones, but I just haven't pulled the trigger on it. I don't know, maybe season 2 will tempt me into getting a figure. I think that's coming later this year or next year. Ooh, I'm excited. That was my anime of last year, so I'm excited. Oh, was it? Yeah, that was a good one. I think I liked Apothecary Diaries more. No, I lied. Anime of the last year's Dandadan, sorry. Yeah, you did like Dandadan a lot. Sorry. Well, anyway, we should probably move on from anime since it's the SHIRO show and not the anime show. Yeah. So I just want to show off my box I got for Emperor's Children. The the Champions Slanesh box I got. So I got that in. It's huge. Yeah, it's a pretty big box. It has like all the dolly figures on the back of it. That comes in the box. Yes, Slanesh. That's the name of the god that they worship. And my favorite chaos god. I've been waiting like years for this one to come out because I love it. It comes with the 12 noise marines, 20 of their foot troop, and then their leader dude. and the codex and like the rules to play the army. So I'm super excited. I like the design of the box. It's very pretty. So I'm using it on a shelf to display, like a little display thing.
Yeah, it's a cool looking box, honestly.
So yeah, no, I'm super excited. I almost finished putting it all together. So I just need to put together like 5 more models, and I'll put them all together. They're pretty nicely like kitted out, so they're pretty fast to put together. It only took me like a day or two to like throw them together. So very happy about that. So I just need to do the 5 more, and then I can put the box away, and I'll be done. Not just paint them all.
Nice. Is LRG doing Eartheon? Captain Hawden asked. I don't know, but that sounds kind of like they might be. Eartheon, by the way, is the Sega Genesis Mega Drive game being made by Yuzo Koshiro and company. I don't know who else says no. He's the big name attached to it. He's writing music for it and whatnot. And yeah, it's gonna be new shoot 'em up coming to the Mega Drive, I guess later this year. But yeah, I'm not sure who's doing the physical printings. I feel like Limited Run probably is, but I can't say for sure. I don't know.
Oof, Z's missing his Disturbed concert.
Yeah, that's too bad. He broke his hip. Sorry to hear about that.
I guess the only thing he's gonna be hearing now is the sound of silence. but not the version he was hoping to hear.
Yeah, right. Yeah, well, he can always just bring it up on Spotify, or if he's a true retro collector, bring it up on vinyl or CD, or maybe he's got it on cassette. I don't know.
This has the first album on cassette. Yeah, no, yeah, sorry about that, Zed. Hopefully you feel better soon. Down with the crutches.
Sasquatch, please.
Sorry, Zed. Hopefully you'll get on your feet soon, and then you'll get down with the sickness. They'll come back. It's Disturbed. They always do a tour. Live at MSG floor seat. No, ooh, that sucks. That one hurts. I've actually never been to MSG. I've only ever passed it because it's literally the subway station that comes out of it is the one I get from Jersey to New York City. So I take the New Jersey Transit to, I forget what that station is. You probably know what the name of it was. It's not Grand Central. It's the other one that's like smaller, but it comes out of MSG. So I take that one.
I've only ever eaten MSG.
Yeah, not I know a lot of people that are very MSG intolerant, but I don't think to the venue. But the venue is expensive. I really wanted to see the Misfits there, but what they were charging was not the price I want to pay for the Misfits at MSG.
Yeah. For any of our European friends, MSG is Madison Square Garden.
Yeah,
it's where the Boston basketball team plays. And lots of concerts are held there. You don't. Oh wait, no, it's the New York Knicks, isn't it?
I was like, why would Boston play at MSG?
Because when they have away games there, I don't know what I'm thinking. Sorry.
Yeah,
I'm a fake sports fan.
It's all good. It's all good. To be fair though, the Jets play at the Giant in New York City's, or no, they play in Jersey. So I don't blame you for. Yeah, so there's a lot of weirdness with that. So I don't blame you for being confused. It's all like
I'm just dumb.
Clear. I mean, aren't you in Ohio, right? Not trying to dox you.
I'm actually making me dumb.
No, I'm just saying you're in Ohio, so you're like right near there, right?
Near where?
Aren't you near the East Coast?
Like 8-hour drive away.
I mean, that's pretty near.
I guess it's closer than Arizona.
Yeah.
True.
I don't know. The things that I always because everyone considers Maryland and DC being close to Jersey, and it's like, isn't that also like another 8-hour drive?
No, Maryland is right well, yeah, Maryland's right next to New Jersey. Yeah.
Oh, damn! I didn't know it was that close.
Oh yeah, Maryland and Philadelphia and New Jersey. It's all the whole Delaware Valley area.
Dang. Yeah.
Well, anyway, should we
that.
move on to our community segment? We don't have a whole lot to talk about, but we do have our, one thing.
Sure, we'll talk our community up. Man, okay. I just imagine everyone listening is like, man, Patrick sucks at geometry.
I mean, we're Americans, so we're not good at maps and whatnot. Anyway, we don't know where anything outside of America is. We don't even know where parts of America are. So,
yeah, I don't know. I just can't figure it out. When I had geometry, I didn't really get a good grade in it either, so it was rough. It's definitely geometry is my least successful class. I've never been good at like locations and stuff like that.
Geometry or geology?
The one where you like the places on the map, geometry, right?
No, geometry is math.
I only mess with you. I said geometry
it's like the flatulence. You've got some flatulences in that box.
Geometry flatulence. Yeah, no, but anyway. Let's start the community challenge. So we get an update from Double Dime.
And you have another dramatic reading for us like last week, right?
Yeah.
Pat?
Let me upload. Right. Let me show off the tab first, so that way you guys can look at the stuff.
Yeah, we have some updated standings.
What about settings?
There it is.
There it is. All right. There have been over 25 submissions this week in SHIRO's Hang On GP Community Challenge, with Crash still uncontested in every category. As Week 3 comes to a close, as does the second weekly challenge on North Crimson Wing, which Crash is winning, no surprise, by over 5 seconds. Participants have until midnight Pacific time to pull a Dr. Neocortex and put an end to the Crash on GP takeover. Also at midnight begins the final weekly challenge on Long New Dwells, the 6th and last course of the game. This weekly challenge, which Gregory Rasputin is calling Totally Not New York City, will end the same time next week, which will leave 3 extra days at the end of the month for some extra grinding on the first 3 courses, and I love my grinding. Also, Random is still alone in the emulation category, looking for a friend to race with. So if you guys don't have a Saturn and want to join in, give them some company. Yeah.
Thank you, Double Dime and Pat, for that excellent reading and update. Yeah, the community challenge is still going on. We've had quite a few participants, and it's just about a week to go. I guess a week and a half, right? We have till March 31st for the community challenge and Hang On GP. So if anybody is a late comer and wants to check it out, by all means, hop in the Discord server for SHIRO and head over to the community challenge channel and submit your time.
Captain Han says you can see the Twin Towers on the loading screen. Totally not New York City. Those don't exist anymore, so can't be New York. Actually, I remember going there before the whole thing happened with those things. Before the stuff.
The stuff
happened
with the things.
Yeah, before the stuff happened. Because I used to go to New York a lot, so I remember seeing them quite a bit. I actually have a photo that I have that when we passed it, like when you were driving through. So I'll have to see if I can dig that up again and put that like put that online or something like that.
Sure.
But yeah, it's really cool. I thought they're really cool. I wish I could have actually went inside of it, but it was really expensive at the time to go inside. My parents thought it was too touristy, so.
Oh, really? They charged admission just to go up into the towers?
Yeah, the observation deck if you want to. Yeah. I mean, and if you want to eat in there, that's a whole investment. It's expensive to eat at Windows of the World. Brother. It was hella expensive. Yeah, I can't remember if I actually don't even think it. The things that when you live in Jersey and in New York, you take a lot of stuff for granted. So it's oh yeah, Twin Towers, that's a tourist trap thing. Oh, the Empire State Building. I never went to Empire State Building because I was well, it's there, it's touristy. You're gonna get a crowd of tourists, and you don't think about it.
Yeah, I think everybody's like that with the stuff that's near them, people around here don't. I mean, people around here enjoy Cedar Point, which is an amusement park, and but I don't think anybody really thinks anything special about it or anything. It's not a big deal, but there are people who come make a pilgrimage from around the world to go there because of the roller coasters and stuff. So I can understand that. I think it's like that with a lot of places.
Yeah, I mean, I did do well, the Six Flags in a month of the Jersey, amusement parks and stuff. Oh, I did Hershey Factory, the Crayola factory there. So that was kind of fun. I like the Hershey factory.
That's cool.
But yeah, no, they're it's just like the like Zed said, grew up in Jersey, never did Statue Empire or Twin. Yeah, I don't know a lot of people that were in Jersey that actually did that, because like again, like I said, when you're in those areas, it's like the touristy thing to do. Like, oh, when you go see the Empire State Building, or go in the World Trade Center, or what, or even now, like I feel the same thing in New York, where it's like we still go, but I have only been to like the World Trade Center once since it reopened in 2014.
Yeah.
I haven't been back because everyone's like, oh, it's like an emotional drain, and it really is, especially if you do the museum. That's why I kind of want to see next time we go, if we just don't do the museum and just go into the park, and then go into the like the observation, eat in like the food at lounge there, and do more like a sombering touristy thing, where it's like we're not thinking about like why it exists, you know? Because I do like it from that perspective, because I like the buildings from the aesthetic thing, and I haven't like actually been up in there, so I'd like to go and see that. But I mean, to be fair though, a lot of the view ones are kind of, to me, boring. It's like you go up, you look around the city a little bit. Oh, cool. That's neat. But because like me, I see it all the time. I don't need to see the city like that, I guess. I don't know. Zeed's probably has the same feel that I do, where it's like, bro, you just go in there and view them. It's like you see the city all the time from Jersey. Like it's just, it's to you, to like me and probably Z, it's like, oh, it's just that. Oh, I've been to the Grand Canyon way too many times, Sasquatch. I've literally been there like 10 plus times, and it never ceases to bore me each and every time I go.
Have you been there in winter?
Oh, hi, Dave.
I have, yeah. I actually been to the northern rim in winter. It's very, very, very cold and not very pleasant in Flag.
That's crazy that you think it's boring. I went to the south. I think it was South Rim. Well, the village basically. Went into the village and stayed at the hotel, like the El Tovar Lodge. And at Christmas time, huge Christmas tree, all the decorations and stuff, and just absolutely gorgeous. Like the Grand Canyon was amazing. We hiked down too. We had to get like the crampons for our shoes or whatever. The little stakes that go into the ground, you know. So, yeah, they're like things that you put on your boots, and they have like cleats basically, but like metal, and they stick into the snow. That way you can go down, because it's ice like the whole way down.
Yeah.
But I mean, man, waking up in the morning like that with the sunset, I think that a lot of people who drive by and just look at the free part, you know, from the rim, they're missing out. You know, you got to go at least once, like go into the village and at least spend a day there. That's because it's so nice. But
yeah, unfortunately,
anyway,
my family's not. Oh, hi, Dave. Yeah,
I didn't mean to crash your convo.
It's cool. It's cool. That's what I mean, you're always allowed to. I honestly, like, the things that my family did it once without me, and they hated it, and we're not hiking people, so it's like every time we go, we just look at it, go around, look at the other parts of it. I remember I brought my DSLR and took pictures, and my dad was like screaming at me because I like got close and I stumbled by like the edge of it a bit.
Maybe, yeah. Oh my God, there are some crazy people that have. One person died, like at the U. What was that? The big U bend thing. Yeah. I forget what they call Horseshoe at Horseshoe Bend. They like kind of leaned out for a selfie, you know, and you know.
Oh yeah, I didn't do that. I was like 10 feet away from it, so.
Yeah,
that's the thing. I don't go anywhere near like the edge of it because I don't want to die horrendously.
I guess to each their own though, you know, because maybe it's not for everybody, but it definitely does make you feel small. Like it's one of those few things in nature where you're just like, wow, this is so like huge that you just feel really small.
Yeah, I don't know. The things that I think, do we here for the World Trade Center discussion thing?
I was singing karaoke last night, Captain Hall. I was like, Dane,
guy.
Yeah, no. But Captain Hodden said I sounded like I was singing karaoke.
Well, but you know, I was I was just pretty much saying that it's like you just take a lot of that stuff for granted, and we're like city slicker folks, so it's like we sort of avoid the touristy stuff for the most part and try to just like go out and do stuff. So I think maybe I just grew up with that mentality, and like, because I was telling them like, yeah, I never went to the World Trade Center like before it got blowed up, or like I never went to or like I never went to Staten Island until after like I moved, or like I never went to the Statue of Liberty or that, because I guess it's just touristy stuff. Like you just see the tourists is like,
sure,
it's like, you ever see Rocket Power? It's like the Shooby sort of things where it's like you see them, it's like
Yeah.
So
I agree. Like that was my experience with New York. It was just very touristy and like dirty.
because the city's nice if you know where to
amazing,
go.
you know.
Yeah, the city's good. You know what to go, but it's like, you can only see certain things of it so many times. But like I've always gone. I've always like gone on my way because I've been so many times. It's like, okay, I'm gonna do this trip and I'm gonna check out all the Warhammer stores here, or I'm gonna check out like I'll literally walk around. I remember I found like the Harry Potter land one pretty easily.
Yeah. I actually don't mean to like disparage New York. It was fine. It was great.
I know what you mean.
I went to a Yankees game before they tore down the old stadium, and it's just crazy how like
Shea?
you want to go down. Yeah, is that Shea? No, that would be the Yankee Stadium. I went to the Yankee Stadium.
Oh, the Mets
the
is
old
Shea.
one.
Sorry,
Yeah, exactly.
my dad would punch me in the face if he heard me say that.
Saturn me already, Mike Garcia says. No, you go down to get like a snack and in the concession area, and it's like you're walking like arm to arm, rubbing against folks because it's like a subway, and it's just like so many people. But yeah, no, we can get into the Saturn stuff. Like we're like what 30? You guys are 35
minutes into this.
35 minutes into this cast, and we're talking about.
We did have a brief discussion of the community challenge days.
Yeah, we don't have a ton of news, so we can.
Yeah, I wondered
time.
why you guys were still doing like updates. We got an update. Pat, he bid on those Netlink modems.
Oh yeah, I forgot
Expand modems and won it pretty easily, I guess. And so yeah, we've got 6 new modems ready to be tested along with the live modems.
Did that show up by the way?
Shipped. It did. It showed up. I took a picture and put it in the online Saturn online chat of the Discord. So 6 new folks who will be able to get on for hopefully like whatever the next online tournament Double Dime has planned. Is the idea. Get 6 new folks, and that'll be awesome. So that's Saturn related.
Yeah, that was good.
Yeah,
continuing to try to grow the online community for the Saturn.
Making it grow.
Oh, and public service announcement. If you just got a Saturn and it can't hold saves, make sure you put a new battery in. That may be your problem.
Yeah, we've had some issues.
Before you go looking to, get a new cartridge or something, or replace the laser, or recap the thing, just swap the battery for a new, CR2032. See if that was the issue. Because we did have one member of the Discord who he was getting really frustrated over the fact that his Panzer Dragoon Saga saves kept they'd be there for a little bit and then they'd go away. And finally someone suggested, well, have you put a new battery in? And he thought that the battery is only used for the Saturn's clock.
Oh, no.
Right. Okay.
No, that is not true. It's not just for the clock and the time and the date. The battery is also used to keep an electric current running through the save memory inside the Saturn to keep all your saves, which it doesn't need the battery when the power is on. But if you turn your Saturn off, it needs to keep those saves by getting a little juice from the battery. So the battery's dead, you're going to lose your saves.
Right, it's battery back to memory. Well, I mean, I guess that seems like such a no-brainer to a lot of us like hardcore Saturn fans, but I mean, folks that are just dipping their toe into the console now, that kind of thing bears repeating, and explaining, because we just take it for granted. I'm sure there are similar things with other consoles, like I don't know, there's a million things I don't know about the FM Towns Marty. If I got one tomorrow, I'd probably need a few questions answered. But yeah, I mean, so that's one. Folks can definitely get an FRAM mod, which is a pretty simple mod where you just replace the you pop in basically a solid state memory module that will negate the need for a battery at all, although I think would you still need the battery for the clock? Or would it nag? You would still need the battery for the clock anyway, right? But at least you wouldn't worry about your saves being deleted.
What I also did that I've been relying on a lot is I've been using the what is it called? I've been using the
per game
Slinger?
save state.
The pseudo Saturn per game save thing. So I've been using that,
Right.
and that's been like that. Like I don't even think about my saves anymore. I just do it, hit the slot, save slot, and you can have different slots. Like it has like 10 different save slots. So if you want to progress different parts of the game, it's like like an internal within. It's like a save slot within a save slot. So it's like you have like 10 of them. It's nuts. So I love it. It's been very helpful for me, and I honestly don't want to go back to the old ways anymore. It's just so useful.
Yeah, there's like, of course, with Saru, you've got a save situation going on with it. That has like a per game save kind of deal. And then, of course, with action replays, you can back up your saves, but they are compressed, and it is like a proprietary compression, you know.
Yeah.
And I've actually had some of those saves be corrupted before, you know, with the action replay. So it's not the best. I mean, we're well beyond that now. So I mean, you'd be better off modding your cart to a pseudo Saturn cart, you know, pseudo Saturn Kai Lite cart, you know, and going that route. Yeah, and then of course, you know, we have backup solutions via Slinga's save game copier, which is also great too. So you know, there's a handful of ways that you can back up your saves nowadays. So,
Definitely
but yeah, the
recommend
battery. Dan's right. The battery is probably the most obvious. That's the first place to try.
I get
humbled,
why it's
though.
weird, because most consoles don't have batteries in them, you know, and don't really use them for, you know, or don't use them for anything vital. Like the Saturn's kind of unique in that respect.
Well, and the fact that the Saturn, so if you were coming from PlayStation, let's say, or even N64, right? You're familiar with memory cards or memory packs in that case, and then you come to the Saturn and you're like, oh, okay, the Saturn also has a memory card, so that must just be that, right? You know, so the last thing you think is, oh no, actually the Saturn was like way ahead of its time and let you store saves right on the console from day one. You know, that was a thing that was amazing back when I first got my Saturn. That I didn't know until like I got it home, and I was like, oh my god, I haven't bought a memory card and I can save.
Well, the Sega CD could do that too.
Yeah, Sega CD was the original.
Sega CD could, but it was an add-on. It wasn't a bespoke console.
Oh, well, yeah, it's an add-on, but I'm just saying when you
can save directly to it. Yeah,
Saturn is like the first fully blown
standalone console.
For that matter, the Sega CD, by the same token, also had a backup save cart as well, so you could save on it internally, and you had the backup save cart.
It could fit barely anything in its internal memory, so you kind of needed the backup cart just to, you know, have more than two saves.
But of course, a lot of people bypass the Sega CD altogether. You know, like how many people a lot of people didn't experience the Sega CD, so they wouldn't even have known about that. But yeah, I mean, I think the Saturn is the first. I could be wrong, but I think it's the first like full-blown console to have like internal storage. Am I wrong?
Internal standalone, probably, yeah.
Standalone console, like, because everybody always says Sega CD, and I'm like, that's an add-on. You know, it's not really. You can't turn it on by itself. You need a Genesis.
Oh wait, maybe the Turbo Duo.
Turbo Duo. That's possible.
The Turbo Duo. Yeah, Turbo Duo has it in it.
And that was released before Saturn.
Yeah, before Saturn.
Okay, all right.
That was like in the 90s.
Okay, yeah.
Early 90s.
I guess that's true. Okay, I stand corrected. Good one. I mean, you know, you would know too, because you've probably got. Do you have a Turbo Duo?
Yeah, I just bought like four of them today in this weird lot down the street.
You just bought 4 of them. No big deal.
Casually, just 4 Turbo Duos.
Turbo Duos.
You know, honestly, I kind of really want to get.
His wallet is a little light.
I love it. His wallet's a little light. Yeah, I saw that haul in the back of your back of your SUV. My God.
Honestly, I kind of want to get that.
I need to pick up some stuff for Sega Steve from that guy tomorrow. I'm gonna go back and see if I can grab some more random Saturn stuff for Sega Steve.
So you picked up the bubble jet printer, like the rebadge, or I don't even know it's a rebadge. It's a Canon printer.
The Canon printer.
It's a Canon printer. I think on the back it's just a standard parallel port, but it comes with that special parallel to serial Saturn adapter, right? And then the box is like Koei branded, and you've got the Eggword software and everything like that. It's like a fully functional.
It's a double box, Dave. The outside box is the Koei, and then the inside box is the Canon box. So it's a
Dang.
double
Oh,
block.
nice. Wow. Yeah.
So, and those are actual like turbo duos, or are they like the Japanese equivalent one?
Yeah, the Japanese dual R.
Oh, they're duo R's. Okay.
Yeah,
Oh, nice.
they probably need to be recapped. To be
Oh,
honest.
they need a lot of work. Those things need to be
Yeah.
recapped. Just don't put a bunch of hot glue on there. There was
Oh,
someone
yeah.
that was known for that back in the day.
No.
So
Is that
don't-
someone new?
CDX, yeah, CDX does save on its own, but I believe the CDX was released after the Saturn. If you consider like when the Saturn was released in like '94 in Japan, I think the CDX came out later. I could be wrong, but that might be a caveat where they might have me there with the CDX being a all-in-one console.
Scotty Moe asked if anyone's played Shockwave Assault. As an FMV fan, I just learned of it, and it looks to still be affordable. I have not played Shockwave Assault. Have you guys?
Mm-mm. I have not.
Shockwave Assault, as in like the FMV, the really FMV heavy game
Yes.
on Saturn. Shockwave Assault. I think I've played it. Was it also on 3DO? I can't remember.
I'm not sure. Maybe. It seems like the sort of game that'd be on 3DO, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Bad.
I've watched them get. Okay, yeah. Scotty said it's also on 3DO. Yeah, I've watched some gameplay footage of it, but I haven't actually played it myself.
Okay, so I'm still looking this thing up about the CDX. So the CDX came out in April of 1994. So maybe, maybe
we
he's
still
right.
got the PC Engine Duo coming out in like '93 or '92.
I guess that's true. Okay, well then I definitely stand corrected. But still, it was pretty rare for like a mainline console like that. So a lot of people didn't even expect it. Like, and then they were surprised when they saw it.
Same. I feel that you don't expect it, and you're surprised when you see it. You know, it's always a pleasant one. Usually.
I do have to explain to new people that buy a system from me that the battery does keep their saves. So yeah, it's definitely information that people that are new to Saturn don't usually know about.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, 3DO has built-in. It does. You have to. You know what? You have to have a special CD software to access it. Because
really?
Well, no. I mean, I guess some games have the ability to access it, but you can't just access the backup memory from the BIOS. You have to have a special like memory manager software disk, which I have that. So yeah, no, it's crazy. Yeah, it's kind of interesting.
So
like
I guess
that, right?
3DO was technically the Turbo Duo was first, then this 3DO, then the Saturn.
I guess that's true. Yeah,
So that's the.
I was very wrong.
Yeah, but
Incidentally, I just want to like toss in before we get into whatever else we're going to talk about is that Pat. I shared with Pat earlier that I ended up getting the omnibus like you recommended, the full like Initial D omnibus. And you were right. It's. I'm not like a huge fan of the covers because they're so simple, you know. But compared to like the individual artwork of the original Initial D manga, but it was well worth it for the translation, which is like much more faithful than the Tokyo Pop garbage.
Yeah, no, they're very good. I don't mind the splints of covers. I'm used to. I know JoJo has some really good compendium covers, but I just like the amount that you get for the price for them. It's just so worth it. Yeah. So that was a good call. I also pre-ordered the next one that's going to be out in June. So you just bought all of them though. You had like 7 of them. Holy crap!
I bought all of them because I'm like I'm going to read them, so I might as well. You know.
Dang.
Well, also I'm trying to read in Japanese, like the Japanese manga, but I need a version for like quick cross reference, you know, because there's, believe it or not, Dan was like, oh, I think you should be able to read that. Well, believe it or not, no. Like whatever amount of Japanese I know, it doesn't come close to what a high schooler knows.
Oh, really?
So there's a lot of words and phrases that I'm just completely unfamiliar with. So
it's a good learning opportunity, Dave.
It is a good learning opportunity. I can stumble through half of it, but then I always need to like cross-reference the translation. So yeah,
I feel you though.
Anyway.
Even in German manga, I still have to keep a notepad to write down what some of the words are. It's a nice teaching lesson though. Like it's like, what does this word mean?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Bo Bales says that he's working on a shockwave assault under the microscope.
Nice.
So I
Yeah,
guess he's reverse
interesting.
engineering that game.
And yeah, Greg asked in chat, how do people not lose their saves if that's their only save option? Do you change the battery whilst the Saturn is booted? And yes, you can do that. As I explained in chat a second ago while you guys were talking, you can absolutely change the battery on a Saturn while the Saturn is on. And if you do that, you will not lose your saves because it's drawing power from the outlet. And you're not going to get shocked or anything. You'll be okay. Just while it's on,
It's just 3 volts.
take the cover in the back. Yeah, just pop the battery out of there and put your new one in. I've done it a couple times, and my saves didn't go away. So yeah, that's the way to do it.
My advice would be to make sure that you're somehow grounded. If you really want to be careful, because you certainly don't want to like rub your feet on the carpet and then do it. But I mean,
well, yeah.
But I mean, because you don't want static electricity, but I'm sure that it's fine. Yeah.
Or to be honest, like if you're a big enough Cider fan, I think you should probably invest in like any of the ODE solutions and just like use that as a backup solution.
Yeah, I mean these days it's like my battery will probably run out and I'll be like, oh crap, I lost my saves, but it's no big deal because I back them up regularly. Or in Pat's case, for example, you just do the per game save and you're good to go because everything's backed up to the SD card automatically.
Yeah, I don't even think about the saves anymore. It's like, okay, save it. Oh, the battery's done. Just throw it in there, and I don't even have like the battery backup plugged in anymore. I just have the Netlink plugged in at all times. So it's like, to me, the perfect set is probably going to be the Fenrir once I get that network load going. I wish there was a way to implement the Fenrir has the pseudo Saturn software in it as well, right? Like, has the pseudo Saturn support for that?
Yes, it's not quite as fully featured as like the Satiator Menu Kai, but there is a version of PSK for Fenrir.
Okay, because I
not to mention
you
can always use Sling as save game copy. Like you can always back up, go into that save manager and just back up your saves manually. But as far as like per game save, I think it does.
I just like turn off my brain.
Brian is right. Ground strap. That's kind of what I meant. Like ground strap, not I don't know. Like
as we called it in the industry, wrist condoms.
Yeah, you want to make sure that you're not transferring static electricity over to the machine.
That's what I like. That's what I like about my little cabinet, Dave. I can just put my hand on it and it insta grounds me.
Even though we don't have a whole lot of news to talk about, we should get onto it because we do have a few things, and it's already 15 minutes into the show.
Alrighty, let's go to that news segment.
Yes.
Going to the news segment. I forgot how this theme goes. I'll remember it in post, and it won't sound anything the same. Because I am stupid. Alrighty, so the first article, under the microscope, G-Vector, or G-Vecta.
The greatest shmup on the Saturn.
The best, if not the best. Eat your heart out, Grandia.
That's not a shmup.
Gradia, sorry, wrong game. I get those mixed up a lot. What can I say?
I like G-Vector. I like G-Vector. It's pretty good. Yeah, I mean, it's not great. It's not like gonna win any awards, but it's great.
Okay.
So
you're like okay.
Fair enough.
Dan doesn't believe you. He's like, right.
He doesn't like it.
I think you're just being. No, I actually have not played G-Vector. I just know that like three-dimensional shmups are generally not well regarded on the Saturn, and this is one of those. So, but you like it though.
It's not bad. It's not bad.
And you're
nice.
Right.
It's three-dimensional. It's a little. The graphics are a little, janky here and there, and it's not nearly as good as Star Fox or whatever. But I mean, it's not as good as Panzer Dragoon for that matter.
See, if they had Space Furs, it'll probably be better.
Bad. It's not bad. Like. It's definitely not like Death Crimson bad. It's just it's like a C plus maybe.
Okay.
I mean, I'd rank Death Crimson a B plus. That game's really good.
How about this? Does anybody else in chat like G-Vector? Has anybody played it?
I'll give G-Vector a G plus.
Panzer Dragoon, nice recovery, Dave. It's much more basic than even like the first Panzer Dragoon, but We're here to talk about reverse engineering it, right?
Yes. So Bo Bales found some previously unknown cheat codes for G-Vector. They give you extra modes, invincibility, new character, and more. But they're either very hard to enter or literally impossible to enter. So that's cool. So Bo,
Sounds about right.
ever industrious, decided to make a patch to make the codes actually enterable or easier to enter. And you can download that patch from, of course, Sega Extreme's resources area. So yeah, the
Nice.
extra options code, the instructions are: when the Sega logo appears, start holding the A button. Release the A button when the soft office screen finishes fading in, then switch to holding the B button. Just before the soft office screen starts to fade out, switch to holding the C button. But he says the timing on the switch to the C button is very finicky. Even when guided by the debugger, he has trouble pulling it off. If you do manage to pull it off, though, you get extra options like picking a stage, using EX select, which lets you hold L during gameplay and press R to skip to the next stage, or hold R and press L to restart the current stage. You also get a pause CMR, which when paused, the camera will rotate around your ship. A display Tama option, which hides the pause menu when you pause. And then a Mutaki option, which gives you invincibility, but the game will not record your score if you do that.
Sad.
Yes. Another cheat code he found was Nagameru mode, which when the Sega logo appears, you start holding the A and Z buttons. Release, bless you, if that was a sneeze, or maybe it was a cough.
That was a cough.
Okay, your coughs always sound like sneezes to me. So release A and Z.
They're keys, if you will.
Yes, they're keys. So release A and Z when the soft office screen starts to fade in, and switch to holding B and R. Timing here is somewhat more forgiving, Bo said. Nagemeru mode lets you replay stages you've already completed. During the replays, you're invincible, and your performance is not scored. And then he also found a function in the game that when it is not set, a normal 3D model of your ship gets loaded, but if it is set, a different model is loaded. What is that model? It is some kind of yellow animal. Bo thinks it looks like a cat or maybe a tanuki. I don't know.
It looks like a frog thing.
Yeah, the file is called pucha.3D. I mean, a yellow frog? I don't know. He looks sort of like a yellow squirrel to me, or something, like a very poogy squirrel.
It looks like a hamster.
How is it spelled? Pucha?
Pucha, yeah. It wrote it in English, of course. Yeah, Pucha. I know. I googled it too, Dave.
It looks like a hamster more than anything.
It does kind of look like a hamster. That's true.
Bumafu from, is that the only that sounds like it's a Bumafu.
But yeah, so the Pucha flag is set after you enter a certain button sequence, which I won't read out.
It does look like him
on the title screen. But what's weird is that you can't actually enter the button sequence. The Saturn control pads don't let you put in one of the things that you have to enter, which is pressing up and down at the same time. That's literally impossible to do on a Saturn pad.
I like the thing score not entitled.
So, Bo's like, well, maybe you can do it with a Saturn keyboard. I don't know. But even if you do manage to press up and down at the same time to finish off the cheat code, the game immediately unsets the flag. So you normally cannot ever load in Pucha. So, yeah, one of the things that the patch you can download for this game off of Sega Extreme does is that it makes that code actually work. He actually made these codes easier to do. There's a few other, I guess, codes that are impossible to enter or don't do anything. They're impossible to enter because they have you like press up and down at the same time or whatever. There's like an alternate extra options. There's player 2 debug controls, and then there's some other code that he doesn't think actually does anything.
Yeah, Eric, a lot of these codes probably were from that, where it's like maybe you enter a macro and it'll enter it automatically. So it wouldn't surprise me if there was like a macro button that would auto enter that for you.
That would,
apparently
there's
Pucha,
kind of like crazy codes.
Apparently Pucha is a loan word from French, but it's a Japanese loan word meaning small, little, or mini.
Okay.
Very
Well,
interesting.
that thing
enough.
ain't many in this picture, that's for sure.
Right? Yeah, I don't know. But yeah, pocha means plump or chubby. But pucha, yeah, means small or little. Interesting. Man, I'm actually looking at Soft Office's Wayback Machine website. They did like 4 games, one unreleased for Saturn, and they like went out of business in 1998.
Yeah.
And it looks like they did this other game that I never even knew about on the Saturn called Pastel Muses. It's like a reverse puzzle bobble game. I'm gonna have to try that.
Oh.
Yeah, instead of firing up at the ceiling, you fire off of a hill and gravity is involved. But you basically have a bunch of like bust a move kind of like. Wow. Another game I thought I knew every Saturn game, but I've never heard of this. Pastel Muses.
I
do
prefer
not.
Bust a Move.
No.
Or Bust a Groove.
Right,
Sorry,
it's
Bust a Groove.
Pastel Muses on the show.
Groove, sorry.
Have Pat play it.
Pastel Muses. Yeah, check it out. But yeah, Soft Office. So interesting. It was founded somewhere in the early 90s, I guess, and they released games from 96 to 97. They were like active those 2 years. So yeah, G Vector was like their second game. And I guess it kind of seems like a second game for a kind of a fledgling developer. It does support the 3D control pad, so that's cool.
Nice.
Yeah,
that's cool.
Maybe even the flight stick. I'm not sure. Sega Retro doesn't mention anything about that, but
rip. Alrighty, so there's still some technical details though. There's a function that checks which button you're holding during the Soft Office screen. These flags. The Pucha codes, when a server codes are checked by the screen, 2 of them actually work. And there are 3 others that are either impossible to enter or don't do anything, which is the 2-player debug controls, extra options, and unknown 2, probably nothing. Like, all these codes could have been modified too, like before release, so people don't grab it, where it's like, okay, instead of removing them and breaking the code, I'm just going to make it impossible to enter, or the code did something and they removed what it did, like for debugging purposes.
That's true.
But yeah, in the patch, you remap the title screen codes as followed: 9 credits A start, debug, B start, unlock extra options C start, unlock Nagameru, L and start, and then R start to play as Pucha, and Z start to show the staff role. So a little bit more available, easily to enter codes.
Yeah. So grab the patch if you want to check out some interesting bonuses with G Vector.
Nice.
Exactly.
Which is apparently a pretty okay game.
Pretty okay. It hits the G spot.
That's crazy. They published it too.
Yeah, I'm sure.
That's so bizarre. Like for a small developer like that to publish their own game, I wonder if there weren't that many copies published.
Yeah, it might be kind of rare.
That's just kind of interesting. You know, usually a small developer like that would have somebody else, like Sunsoft or something like that, publish it for them, but they did it themselves. Interesting.
Well, speaking of Panzer Dragoon, as you recovered a few minutes ago, Dave, that is our best of Saturn this week, right, Pat?
Yeah. So I'll.
It actually is a best of Saturn.
It is one of them, yes.
Old.
Yeah,
but
like
I'm gonna do some spoilers. It might not be my best of Saturn. It actually might be in the lower rungs for me. So
Wow.
gonna get some talk about it, and then
there's really no accounting for good taste, you know.
Oh, damn.
Or bad taste in your case.
Anyways, Panzer Dragoon begins on the wings of an armored blue dragon. The Panzer Dragoon series is perhaps the premier Saturn franchise, helping launch the system in the West with the first game back in 1995. After a lengthy, excellent FMB introduction sequence, the player takes control of Kyle Folge, being unnamed in the Western release, and mounts the blue dragon. As a Folge?
Kyle Fluge? Fluge? I don't know. Yeah.
Blue coffin. Takes over the mortally wounded dragon rider and assumes his quest to stop the dark dragon from reaching the tower. What ensues are 7 episodes of fast-paced on-rails 360 degrees 3D shooting action. The player controls the reticle to either fire Kyle's handgun or lock onto multiple enemies and fire the dragon's lasers. The action requires the player to pay attention to the radar and adjust their viewpoint as appropriate. A very niche concept in 1995. The episodes featured sunken cities, deserts, forest canopies, underground complexes, and even the Imperial capital city. Enemies range from Imperial adversaries to mutated beasts that roam the land. Yukiko, Joe, sorry, Joe's the other person that pronounced it on my other show. Dave, was it Yukiko Futatsugi?
Where are you even seeing that?
Futatsugi. Yukiko Futatsugi and his team took advantage of the Saturn's ability to display infinite fields to create a sprawling visuals to depict the Panzer world, and commissioned a gorgeous orchestral techno synth soundtrack composed by Yoshitaka Azuma.
Perfect.
Yeah, I'm just really good at pronouncing this. To match the on-screen actions. The world itself was inspired in part by the works of Jean Giraud, I didn't expect to pronounce all these foreign names, Mobius, and his 1975 comic Arzak, and features biotechnology in the hands of primitive people. The audio visual, I would say more, some of it can give me Cronenberg vibes, but and H.R. Giger vibes. But the audio and visual punch of these elements is profound, and Panzer Dragoon was considered a highlight of an otherwise lackluster lineup of games. Confirm Pat hates games with an American name. Sorry, folks. Sorry about that, America. Anyways, the game is an important first chapter in the Saturn's Panzer Dragoon trilogy and remains a worthy play today. The levels are challenging, the music is sublime, and the gameplay story is only revealed in drips and drabs, paving the way for the subsequent games in the series. Panzer Dragoon is an excellent Saturn title that I think is okay.
Allegedly.
I think it's absolutely freaking fantastic. And I agree with folks who say that Zwei is better. It is. It's like it refined almost everything about the game. I would even argue that the digital soundtrack of Zwei is comparable to the fully orchestral version. So like the first game is just a more crystal vision, I think, just a simpler thing, kind of like in the same way that the first Clockwork Knight or the first half of Clockwork Knight was more simple, you know, and then they kind of like added more bells and whistles and kind of try to make it a little bit more, you know, everything, you know. But I mean, the first Panzer Dragoon deserves so much credit for everything that it does. Like it nails that aesthetic of like a empty, barren wasteland kind of thing, making you feel lonely, but you also feel like you're a hero on a mission kind of thing. It did the 360-degree view really was like revolutionary. I mean, it was the beginning of 3D gameplay as well, at least on consoles, and so very much like Captain Hodden, great calls with like the Nausicaa thing, because you had Mobius. That comic is fantastic. Mobius's drawings, and that inspired like Nausicaa, the Valley of the Wind.
Great manga, pretty OKS Ghibli movie.
Also, like Dune, you know, there's Dune inspirations here too, with like the sandworms that you know come out of the sand and stuff like that, and you have like the clouds. It's amazing what they were able to do art wise, like with the skybox for VDP 2, I guess. Because it's just like the clouds just kind of like fade into the background so seamlessly. I would say that this is the strongest launch title by far. Definitely a title that showed what the Saturn could do early on, and it also it worked against like it worked with the limitations that they came up against, and it was the most creative in terms of like, what can we do with this hardware considering the limitations that we're up against? And they use a lot of
Really, they probably should have bundled this game with Saturns in North America rather than Virtua Fighter and in Europe.
I mean, definitely. It was this definitely would have spoken to like European and Western audiences, I think, a bit more.
Yeah, it's a very European style game, which I like about it. And for the time, it was really good. It's just at the end of the day, I kind of prefer more sci-fi, so that's kind of why, if I had to pick one, I definitely would prefer Star Fox 64 over
Yeah, I
So
mean, like
that
I'm with you on that, Pat. Like I've always gravitated more toward you to sci-fi stuff than dragons and swords and that sort of thing. So yeah, I kind of like my shooters to be with spaceships and cockpits and whatnot. But I mean, Panzer Dragoon is still a very impressive looking game that does some really cool stuff for having come out originally in early 1995 in Japan.
And
exactly.
I mean, they also attempted to be very cinematic with the game, doing things where like they would have like a widescreen presentation, and then it would like go full screen, and they would do these. They would really work with like the camera, like in a very artistic, like cinematic way, where they would pan around the dragon while they're zooming out, and just doing all these like really cool things that you would normally see in like an art film or something like that, but in this game. And it just really had a vibe to it for sure. Not to mention the fantastic orchestral soundtrack, which was amazing. And then the artwork on the original Japanese version was Mobius. And then for some reason, the West, we had like this really ugly, like very, very crude 3D render, because 3D was everything back then, so it's like you had to have 3D on the cover. But
yeah, and I just also think the story just isn't as fleshed out, or like isn't as, I guess, obvious, I guess.
Oh yeah, no, I mean, that's one of the. There's no spoken dialogue, right? And it's all just kind of like mimed. It's like you just watch and you kind of observe, and you get the idea of things through that. There is some, I believe there is some like subtitled dialogue.
Yeah, there's spoken dialogue
from the tower and stuff like that, and narration.
Language.
Yeah, but a lot of it is not narrated. It's just kind of like you kind of get a lot just out of these FMVs. But yeah. Definitely, Team Andromeda, they ended up becoming, what, Smilebit? Did they? Or am I thinking of another studio? But they're not the same ones. They're not the same ones that did Rez. Rez was like United Game Artists, right?
Yeah, that's UGA that did Rez.
But Rez is very similar to this, with like the 360-degree view. You're on rails. You're able to select multiple enemies and then fire off a shot at all of them.
Rez is still one of my favorite Dreamcast games. That game is so good.
It's funny, you like Rez, but you don't like.
The thing is that I think Rez is, like I said, I've always gravitated more towards sci-fi and stuff that really gives the hook, and I think that something like Rez with the soundtrack and just the visuals and the trippiness of it just intrigues me more of that.
And the trance vibrator. We
don't talk about that in public.
We don't talk about that, but I mean, you're right. With the Rez, it's like the synesthesia thing, the mixing of the sound and the gameplay. And I mean, if you put that through like a huge audio system, it was an amazing,
or a good pair of headphones at least.
A good pair of headphones, sure. All right, I can tell Dan wants to move on. What's next?
I'm just getting comfy. You're
just getting comfy.
He was vibing. Yeah. He was vibing. Like I said, the next is Dan's article, the Saturn-ish news roundup. We got a Croc release date. Lunar gets a new dub. Lanos 2 hits Switch and PlayStation. So what do we know about this load of Croc, Dan?
Yeah, so Croc HD has a release date now. It's going to come out on April 2nd, and it's going to be on the Switch, the PlayStation 4 and 5, the Xbox One and Series X and S, and on PC via GOG.com. They put a new little trailer. Argonaut Games did, the developer of the game. They put a new little trailer to announce the release date. So that's cool. They had originally planned on releasing this game by the end of last year, and they obviously had to push it back to like springtime or something, they had said. So here we go. We have more of a nailed down release date of April 2nd, just a couple weeks away. So that's cool. Now that's for it digitally. I don't think it's really coming out physically. Like I do mention here in the story that a company I'd never heard of before called Rocket Games is doing a collector's edition of the Croc remaster. But I guess first off, you can't get them anymore because the pre-orders are sold out. The pre-order window closed. But if you did get it, you're still not really getting a physical copy of the game. You're just getting like a code in the box to whatever platform you wanted, as long as that platform wasn't the Switch for some reason. I don't know why. Maybe they're going to have actual Switch cartridge physical copies. I haven't heard.
Yeah, a lot of the companies also do like a split releases. Like they have one company do one, and then later down the road they have.
Right.
So it could be somewhere limited runs doing the Switch version of it, and
it could be.
Maybe the other ones are doing the PC and the PS5 versions of it.
Right. Yeah, maybe. But yeah, so along with your code for the PC, PlayStation, or Xbox versions, you also get like this pretty good looking 8-inch statue of Croc with a little gobo next to him. It looks pretty cool. And then you get like a 4-disc soundtrack on CD. You get a double-sided poster, which hopefully will not be folded up and will come in like a nice tube. But
they'll just fold it.
Wait,
like the...
would it though? Would it? Is that typical for releases to come in like a tube?
None that I get. They're all folded up when I get them.
Right, like they're always folded up, right? But I'm wondering. I was just wondering if there are any instances of them doing that in a tube.
When Bunny won a contest with Strictly Limited to get some Cotton Reboot goodies. And they sent the Cotton Reboot goodies to us. One of them was a big full-size poster of Cotton Reboot, and it came in a tube.
That's fantastic.
Not folded. So so it's framed and it's in my office right now. You may have seen it when I did the podcast a few months ago.
Yeah, I did. That was an awesome
should
poster.
Follow that example because I didn't even think they would, just because it's it's like it is easier to fold it up, right, and put it in the release.
Pay extra for that.
It doesn't look as nice.
Serious? No, not at all. Yeah. Wow, I didn't even know that. So kudos to whoever did that release.
Strictly Limited.
Strictly Limited. Germany. Okay, well there you
go. So anyway, the rest of the collector's edition was a sticker sheet and a keychain. So some fun little Croc goodies in there, but it costs $130. So you're paying for those, probably mostly for that big figure.
There's another collector's edition I saw online that they said it was still open for pre-orders. It wasn't really? This one though. There was another one.
It's a different one.
There's like a plushie.
They're selling all. I guess I should have mentioned that they're selling a plushie of the Gobo. He's kind of cute. Little brown gobo. They're selling that on Rocket Games' website as well. So that doesn't come with the game or anything. They're just selling plushy gobos.
Greg mentions it would be cool if there was a no head mode code or something. And believe it or not, I directly asked them that on X, or Twitter or whatever. Yeah, like I said, I think it would be cool, and Saturn fans would get a chuckle if you just included this as kind of like an unlockable feature. And they're just like, no, we don't. They flat out said like, we don't really want to revisit that. Like we don't want to dwell on. We don't want to dwell on that. And I'm just like, come on, we all have a sense of humor about it. It would be awesome.
Like even Capcom did something with joke. Yeah, Capcom did that with Elsa Walker. They gave the costume of a character they cut from the development that they scrapped for Resident Evil 1.5. They can't give us that.
Yeah, I forget what they exactly said, but it was to that effect. They were like, yeah, maybe let's not, and say that we did. And I was just like, but seriously, it would be funny. Like it would just be like an unlockable gag,
Maybe someone can mod the GOG version. You don't know.
Right.
Fans will do it themselves.
So if you want to play Croc headless, you still have to do it on real hardware or emulation, maybe. I don't.
Or just mod it. Like I imagine eventually you can get CJ to be Croc, and you can play Croc as CJ from GTA San Andreas.
There you go. So Argonaut did drop a couple of other interesting details on social media in response to fan questions. Argonaut said, if Croc is successful, our intention is to remaster Croc 2. Separately, we will explore developing Croc 3, which would be a new game, at some point if it makes sense to do so. So the door is open if this does well. We may get some new Croc down the line. So that's cool. Also, Argonaut said that the GOG version of the remaster comes with a free copy of Croc Classic, which is the original version with minimal required changes of the PC game, but it runs on Windows 10 and 11. So that's cool. You get an original version of Croc 2 if you get it on GOG, which I guess makes sense for GOG. They have a lot of their whole spiel is getting the original PC versions of games running on modern computers.
Right.
Yeah, no, that's cool. I'm excited for that. Another
Yeah.
reason to support GOG, which I think is one of my favorite sellers.
Yeah. So moving on, the Lunar remasters are indeed getting a new dub. I don't think this was confirmed before they put up this this article on the PlayStation blog.
I think they talked about it earlier, like when that first dropped. I remember them saying that there's going to be a new dub for it because they had a new vocal track,
Really?
and apparently the people that worked on it didn't get approached.
Yeah, well, I think, I look back on my story that we wrote, that I wrote several months ago when they originally announced this remaster. And I think I put that, like, it still remains to be seen if they're going to use their working designs audio or they're going to do a new dub.
Yeah, I think we just had that for political talk, like the news talk, so we didn't like put out fake info. But
yeah, well, either way,
whatever.
they did a blog kind of like reconfirming some things and talking about some stuff with the remaster. They are indeed going to have a new dub. They're not reusing working designs from the Sega CD versions. They're going to have all new voice cast. They said their priority when recording was making sure that they preserve the identity of each character through their new voice actors. So that's the end product is something that they're proud of. That's good.
So does that mean that we're gonna have a third dub of this game?
Yeah, I guess because there's a PSP dub too, right?
Yeah, there's a PSP, the original, the PSP dub, and then actually no. Actually, wait, was the cast from the Sega CD and the PS1 version of that, or was that a different cast? I actually don't know.
I have a question about
What's
this.
What's up, Dave?
So if you scroll, Pat, to the little slideshow that Dan included, yeah, and you scroll over to the close-up cartoon drawing of right there. So like that right there is looking to me like waifu 2X. Like it's looking like they didn't have the original drawing. They had like a low resolution JPEG and they've like put it through AI processing for some reason, because some of the details look kind of soft. Some of the details look a little soft. Yeah, and like that's unfortunate if that's the case, but I mean, I guess it's probably what I would expect, is that they had, low resolution images to work with. It's a shame though, like if they didn't keep all that stuff, because it's hand drawings.
Yeah. The companies usually are very disposable with that sort of stuff, and I know that even Daft Punk had that same issue where they like just upscaled their Interstellar 555, which kind of was a sadness. I mean, it was cool to see in theaters, but I mean,
it's it's artwork though, right? Like who would throw away that? Because originally I imagine that would have been done on like a sheet of 9x12 or something like that, right? Like it's a piece of artwork. Why would they throw that away?
Ask Toei Animations why they threw it away. Have you seen?
It only has so much space. I know, but it is flat. Like it stores pretty easily. It boggles my mind. Like I understand how like files get thrown away and stuff like that, but man, it's a real bummer like that they couldn't source the original artwork. But it is what it is. Anyway.
Well, and another kind of a crappy thing about the remasters, they reconfirmed that this is going to be based on the PlayStation ports of this game, not the Sega CD original or the Saturn ports. They were asked about that, and the producer here said each version is different and possesses unique merits, so we actually struggled quite a bit with this question. Ultimately, the choice came down to which version we felt represented the series best. For us, it was the PlayStation version. So, okay, whatever.
I guess it's fair enough. Like I said, I can understand their precision of it since there was a US release of it.
Right. So basically, the two games I was really excited for, Lunar and Suikoden, are both of these
duds.
duos are going to be like based on the PlayStation, and forget about the Saturn.
Yeah.
Oh well.
We tried our best,
of a Saturn
folks.
fan.
We tried our best. We've been posting. We've been pushing hard, but we I really only like a select few Saturn stuff. I mean, even Croc got screwed on us, Dave. Right? They're like no
Right.
Saturn reference. We don't want to remember that part of our past.
Well, what they could do is just slap a little ad on the back that says Croc 2 coming soon, and then never release Croc 2. That would be, that would be the ultimate reference right there.
Yeah. And you know what? To Argonaut's credit, they did have a cool interview with the programmer of, the Saturn version of Croc.
Right.
Where he talked about the Saturn
I appreciated
version.
that.
Yeah, that was cool. So they're not like totally not acknowledging the Saturn version like they have.
Mhm.
So,
Mhm.
and they are going to have like a Crocopedia or something included with the Croc remaster, with a bunch of production materials and that sort of thing. So hopefully it'll be something related to Saturn there. Who knows?
Like Martin says, smoke the Croc pipe.
Yeah. No,
anyway, well, as for a game that is actually a Saturn game, we have the Saturn Tribute edition of Assault Suit Lanos 2, which is out now in the West on the Switch and PlayStation 4 and 5. This game did come out last year on Xbox and Steam digitally from the original developer City Connection, but it got delayed until today, when they announced that Clear River Games out of Europe would be publishing it on those platforms. They're going to do physical versions of these, which those are not on sale yet. They're going to go on sale May 22nd. I'm not sure there's going to be a collector's edition or just standalone plain old copies or what. We don't know yet. But for now, you can get this game digitally on the Switch for $20. It's a launch discount, or $25 on the PlayStation, which did not get a PlayStation launch discount.
Yeah, it really says a lot that the PlayStation 4 versions are still being sold with the PS5, but I guess that really just shows where we're at in the gaming world right now.
Again, you said. Oh, go ahead.
What's that? Well, go ahead, Dave.
Well, Dan, I think you said before, you explained to me that if it says Saturn Tribute, that means physical release, right? And if it says S Tribute, then that's just digital only, right?
Yeah, well, that's the Japanese reasoning for it, the Japanese company City Connection, and they, of course, had physical releases of this game in Japan on the PlayStation 5 and the Switch.
Right. Okay, cool. So this does have a physical release then. Okay.
Yes, it's Japanese, but yes, it does have a physical release. So, and it's going to have an English release physically too. Clear River Games has said that that's going to go on sale in May. I'm just saying that we don't know if there's going to be a collector's edition with that, or it's just going to be, just the game in a case. Yeah. So I'm sure we'll get more details, in the next month or so, couple months. So yeah, if you got a Switch or a PlayStation, you can check that game out. It's really cool that, they actually did a new English translation, for this game, because this game originally was on the Saturn in Japanese only. There's, very little English at all in menus or whatever. And there's a bunch of story that happens in the game, and they hacked an new English localization into all of it.
So what are the chances? What are the chances you or Pat are going to pick this up?
Do you think I already bought it on Steam.
Yeah, I bought it on Steam too.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Got it. Cool.
Yeah, so I probably won't get it on the Switch or the PlayStation, because I
might get it for the Switch.
You have it on Steam.
Often buy it twice. Yeah, because I already have the game. So
right, exactly. And you have the translation looks good though, the way that they did it. It looks pretty good.
I just really wish you were able to get it out and put it in the Saturn thing, but I think they encrypted it way too much. To put in a Saturn ROM and play it on that'd be great.
Right, yeah. I don't think anybody's been able to figure out how to extract it. Like Night of Dragon, it said something like, well, when you're actually playing the game and it's running on the PC, they had to have unencrypted it, and uncompressed it and have it living somewhere. The actual original Saturn game living somewhere in your computer's RAM. But I don't know enough about regular PCs to be hunting around in my own RAM. I don't know what I would use to do that, to try to find a Saturn game hiding in there. So I wasn't able to do any of that myself.
I probably try it again. I never searched the RAM. I searched the local files to see if maybe they had a file that was decrypted, that's decrypted on runtime.
I looked at that too. They don't.
Yeah, so I tried a couple things, but just wasn't working. But maybe I can try and see if I can grab the RAM contents and dump it and see maybe there's something there that I could do.
Yeah. I mean, at the very least, I hope people support this because it's, it's cool to get Saturn games on modern consoles, and it's like it's the actual Saturn game. I know there's a little bit of lag introduced from the emulator that they're using, but I mean, it's gotten better from like that original Con 2 release, so it's still, playable.
No, for sure. But it's really good. I'm super excited for it to come out and like physically and play on the Switch, grab the RAM by the horns. I don't think I could do that. But yeah, I think that's it for the news.
Yep, that's what we've got.
Alrighty, I guess it's time to wrap up the show.
You want me to read the patrons, or you have them?
I
have them open.
Yeah, if you read, I don't have it open right now.
Yeah. Okay.
Play the jingle.
Play the jingle. Even though I can't
It is
hear
playing.
Okay. Good.
Should I wait for it to finish?
No, you can do it right now while it's playing.
All right. So thank you to everyone who supports us at the $10 and up level. You guys are our all access and VIP patrons. We've got A Murder of Crows. We got Cerulean, Chris Piper, Pipe Dreams Games, Daniel Fredrickson. We've got Derek Pascarella, aka A-Team. We've got Emerald Nova, Evo42, Fat Drunk Friend Otaku, Gem Clash or Rank, Johannes Fetz, Mr. Joe Engine. We got Lion Wing Publishing, Momphus, Normal Guy, Nutrageous. I hope I'm saying that right. Is it Nutrageous or Nutrageous?
Nutrageous.
Nutrageous. Okay.
I just say Nutrageous because it's funny.
Yeah, because it's funny. Okay, then I'm just copying Pat. Orlando Guy, not to be confused with Normal Guy. He's normal.
I mean, the normal guy's probably Orlando guy's probably also normal.
He's from
but
Orlando.
It's in Florida.
And Paul Joseph Bort, Paul Bort, who we see at every year at Portland. And
Portland
he's awesome. And he helps us with the booth and everything. It's great. We got Robert Ramsey. We got Rowan Dinked. We got Sega Steve, of course. We got Stoneman. The Sega guys are our pals, UK pal.
Hello, Shiros.
PAL. And then we got Young Money Sweet, or Jung Rhythm Sweet. He's come to be known.
Known as a Sweet.
Love all you guys. Appreciate all you guys. Thank you so much for supporting us. Many of you for multiple years now, which is incredible. Means a lot to us.
Thank you very much.
Appreciate it. And everybody else who supports us at any level, we appreciate you too, and we just thank you for your financial support and contributions. And then for those again who can't manage to support us financially, we get it. You got a lot of things, a lot of bills to pay. Probably support other creators. So just be sure to join our Discord and become a part of the conversation. Maybe join a tournament. Maybe throw your hat into the community challenge.
Maybe throw a hat or buy a hat.
Just
I don't know if we sell
a hat
hats.
so you can throw it.
Yeah,
we do.
Yeah,
actually, you're wearing one. You're wearing one.
But do we sell? I don't know if we sell them.
We do.
Yeah,
we do.
we
It's
sell
like
them.
right under the YouTube video. I think if you scroll.
Oh, cool. Yeah, go buy a hat or 2 or 5 or 12 or 13 or 25,
and then throw them into the ring.
Throw them at me.
Yep. And
hit me with your best hat.
With
or a
cool
t-shirt.
Double dime.
Controller on it.
Double
It's a good
dime
t-shirt.
or slow coin for those who don't know. He's in the chat here. I'm just curious, is he gonna be able to get up to where Crash is? Is he gonna be able, or get down to get his time down to where Crash is?
Get down.
It's like I'm biting my fingernails here. It's like so close, but I mean, Crash is actually leading by quite a bit on some of those categories. But I've noticed that Double Dime has been really working hard.
I don't know how Crash has done what he's done, but very impressive.
Right? It is insane. And I mean, Panda is both Panda, Double Dime. I'm trying to think who else. Like some really good racers, like really good gamers when it comes to like racing games, and it's just incredible. So yeah, we'll see. I think we're gonna have like a first, second, and third prize or something like that. You know,
A lot of good prizes.
Maybe we'll see.
maybe we're talking
We'll
about
see.
it. We'll see.
Maybe not. I actually don't see hats on the Threadless shop that is linked under our video. I'm not gonna lie. Maybe it's on the Teespring shop because we have like 3 different SHIRO shops. Yeah, I couldn't find hats,
Under our video,
jackets, and T-shirts and all that.
You need to sell a thong.
Okay. we need to sell a thong.
Yeah, do the
tie.
Retro Boys.
Tie with hens on it.
Yeah,
That
tie
works.
hen ties.
Hen ties. The classic.
Actually, don't see
just
hats on
means-
Teespring either.
Yeah, we could, we should sell like what would be awesome is like those Saturn masks. Like we should just those boxes that you put on your head, and then you become like a Saturn head. I don't know if you've seen that video of those guys in Japan doing that, like cosplaying as the Sega Saturn. I think I'm gonna do that for
There
Halloween.
we go. Okay, the Spread Shop sells a SHIRO hat.
Nice.
You go to the SHIRO Spread Shop from if you're on the SegaSaturnShiro.com and you drop down for shop, and there are a few different options. One of them is Spread Shop. If you do that one, hats is an option there.
I don't like Neil
$18.
Henderson's hashtag. Hat shats. I don't think I like that that hashtag. That's a bathroom trip.
For flatulence.
Exactly, for my flatulence.
Yeah. Well, anyway, thanks for watching, everybody. Thanks for listening.
watching.
On that note,
Yeah, dinner time.
it is
Dinner time, baby. Unfortunately, can't do a stream tonight, but next week I'll try to fit one in.
Okay.
We ran a bit late.
Sounds good.
Well, I mean, we had so much talk about New York City to get in today.
Exactly, we had to. That's
Right?
more on me. So
Yeah.
And the Grand Canyon.
yeah,
The Grand Canyon
Anyway.
talk. Yeah.
we'll be talking about Yosemite next week, and we'll be talking all bad
Get
about
ready.
it.
I bet no
Well-
one's ever taken a Sega Saturn and hiked down to the bottom of the Grand Canyon and stayed at that little lodge and played Sega. I bet
I don't know,
Sega
Adam
Saturn has
needs to do that with the Pluto.
Adam needs to take the Pluto down to what's that thing called? The something I forget. There's a little lodge that you can stay at the very
Ben's
bottom
Lodge.
of the Grand Canyon, and I guarantee the Saturn has never been played there.
We should do that,
maybe a
Dave.
video game.
Me, you,
Yeah,
and
I
Adam
know.
will take a hike down there with the Pluto, and we'll stay up and stream us playing Saturn.
Nice.
Yeah. Anyway, okay. Sorry, we're just prolonging. This has been Saturn Dave and Dantrax and Tranico doing the needful, reminding you that you must play Sega Saturn.
You must.
Bye, everybody.
Later.
See ya.